Enyumre ya mo ajo am akwaba de Adom TV so bra so se big agenda dwumade ye de ebre wo na enne nkoma ye die wonim se nyame ya adom a wo chena Thursday, that's 11th na this year Friday 12 February and na Council of State said your main amamrate omampani power de obepa wi a wo se mantama hodo nyina nsia na mu ne to aba e de eyi omo na afi big weeks bi edi apiepie mu a chese enyasem keto akra ye behwe na ye di nkomo ho ansam ne ho nkomo no se de esiti ankasa na empanimfo bi ayi omuti omu no nso no ye ne bi agigi nkomo na yahwe butaya esi wani so anti opese ye to aba wo muti so na okoka abedwaku betu omampanimfo ye Council of State ne ho bidi nana say ampofoje Loving Life Chinese Clinic ko madam na di dwumade we ebro ye twe homra na afi ye mfa nkomo no enhyehyɛ so. All right, enuti yamu akwaba yembonwura enkomonum na yenkoyanim ene ye di Council of State nkomo nyame adom afiada ade anim yi ena yeto aba mantam num na wo hwe omen article 89 to 92 of the 1992 constitution 89 to 92 of the 1992 constitution ena ekere say there shall be a Council of State omo ne be council na so betu omampanifo ewo ne nhyehyere na namuntu ho omapani nankasa pe emra no epao enipa mako edubako 11 chese ndi ono na appoint omo na appoint say nipa ya ewo se yenya a former Inspector General of Police IGP, a former IGP, a former Chief of Defense Staff, a former Ghana Army omo mpanifo no baako, a former Chief Justice ene mpanifo nkaye bi National House of Chiefs omo nso rep na say penny president of the National House of Chiefs ano no so eka ho enti apart from nipa 11 no penny ebe appoint no e was various regions ni nyina say nya representative nti kane na ke 10 regions kan nipa 10 ba be kan penny the 11 na 21 but he say was 16 and until 16 regions no be rep na 16 regions ne reps no na only e was here to omo so aba he say ukọ abankramantam hanum se owura E.T Mensah eyiniti se yentene so aba obeka 2017 openini yiniti abrana na ado danko akufo ado share the first time asema bi no mu didi nkomo se yi NDC ni mapapa obi a 6 parliament nyina na ogina mu a all free parliament ni no also betu omampanifo ebeko yie this time around E.T Mensah kwa atifere mantam so a kane kumbungu mrahye badwane enwa be maras mubarak so yiniti ho a opet man for no to so aba na oba betu omampanifo Rasmubarak wa homa so honorable me mo adwo e mo akwa ba na mejo so me chaw e ma etifu na so adwo na wapo no mboko de na me adom me hoye ye da nyankopon ase it's always nice to interview you say unse adwuma wa ye bi dana na edru tv ne ye de ogina ye de ogina homa so toto ano sa ras ma mi misao after say was serve omanfo as a member of parliament say wodo ho aba se yento so aba na eye omantam ni nsia na mu bebeka bedwaku bi to mampanifo no no kresa
le ba sha no kwe
all right
ye tiane say ye pe akwanya asom ye man Ghana sompa na ohe ye constitution na because me unity na nipa do na ka say adena brand here o pesa obutu omampanifo. Your constitution no place a limit on who can advise His Excellency the President. That is number one. Ye to so biom. Ye nyina ye pesa Ghana ye. Na se Ghana be ye so a ye nyina say ye fire adwin ene ye limit ye kakra e de boa na yetibe esom oman no sompa.
Okay.
Enti it shouldn't matter say omampani a otiso say onye NDC. It shouldn't matter. You know, because all countries are omuka bi mamenke bi 18 team ebu okra ministers of a previous government. We've seen it several in the US of A. Obi a serve, you know, a democratic government as a minister for defense. Na, you know, Republican government or Masaka says, you know, onto a so. That is how you build a country. Na nyame ayamadom ohe ejumedia medi, you know, all over my adult life. whether as a broadcast journalist, whether as chief executive officer of the youth authority. As a matter of fact, Omanpenyi Muhammad Youth Authority, it was one of the underfunded agencies of state. There's now open abai ejumakuo ana abai eswaya omode ye kase sika abai sika omode ye ejuma no omunye bikra. It was one of the underfunded. By the time I left the youth authority in December 2016, I turned the youth authority around to become one of the most well-resourced agencies of state, to the extent that my parliament say or more act, almost 5% of the District Assembly Common Fund, and that's a lot of money. 5% of the District Assembly Common Fund is a lot of money for youth development. Say Yamfamwa and Mebunu Ejuma in the country. Fast forward to my time in parliament. I mean, I'm sure when Masumu anymore, when you've seen the extent of work we have done in parliament. Enti Ebano say so Ebrana sebe Nyame Adom yabo brana kakra. Na mejidi say it helps our democracy. Because imagine say Omanpenyi advisors na NDC ni a thorough NDC ni wom na MPP for wom na neutrals wom. That is how you build a country.
Ras.
Let me just make this.
Okay.
My argument for entry into the race has been that in the Council of State, you need diversity. Diversity in anything. You need inclusion. And it's a Council of State. You bewa seven in Kokrafo na you bewa a mawum, you bewa a bebuno, and no, it gives you quality decision making. Okay, it gives you better decision making because mebunu chiro margin and ma chiro margin and go for chiro margin. That is inclusion, and then you come out with what is in the best interest of the country.
All right, Ras. Sena oka ode America nomne other developed countries there emfato ho no. Oba ye part of the world na kwan ye faso ye amanyo sab na kwa bibi ye wo ho kakra. We don't wish say
maybe I know na ekuye no. I know na ama oman no enko nenim because ye the bibi amanyo sem.
Yes.
It is hurting the nation.
Sure. I know tin aka ma visa say pe said ye see amanyo sem e wo ye fam ho atitriu o my Ghana mu and ye politics ne ye governance ni nyina no are based on ye principles and ideologies of the various parties. Whereas nipa or teadwaso say o belonging to a purely capitalist ideology. Now also over from the background of a socialist.
Social democratic.
Better na a year better no more click. I don't know better ko better pona. What can say me no as some ya okay. Ebe boa me ideology no.
Me na ni tie wa ne say that ye man Ghana mu o say e krimonia ware Christian da. And vice versa. Who say the company ware asantini da. And bibinia ware boni da. So that is a diversity. Okay? The diversity gives you better decision making. I don't just say
I understand. And on the face of it, book level no but just imagine say a policy a buy no etiabia so for said no we na beboa ama impokra me party etimi win the next election. Won so ti we won so our party there but what ba so be adwuma but wo hwe ade na e ko no a ebedu na bi kra ye nkasa wo be edu da simple aba betenam.
Oh no, I mean ube ma chewa agin say na me na efuto ye ultimate to obi fu ema onyanko enka jo say efuto ya odi ma me ni. It can happen. You know say ube ti ma obi efuto ba.
Na ras so be ba betu for na yemfa de na ubetu aye dey.
Oh, but you see, it is also better for the country. Say ubetu fu esini say went to for na adena ko say no aga say na nka be person me ka say na cheo. So clearly that can't be right for the country.
All right, it yan show say what you hu asi also person to so abede dey a wasua the nitty-gritties of adwuma no bibi e fa ho bia no apart from Sebia, aban person to na mo bi na as a council of state mo hia na mo kire mo adwen afa then ni dem bi na mo ye.
So there are referrals. Even okra bills and make up bills. I say emra aban person of the core parliament, Emma parliament got shisheno. Some of those bills are referred to the Council of State for advice and inputs. The Council of State, you say yes, sir, maybe, and I say you say you amend maybe, and I say them raffle from ever more and more opinion for to abide for no. My agent and the same. It comes to the Council of State for advice, and that is why again my background in Parliament would also be very, very useful. Especially having been the first MP to have spearheaded a private member's bill in the country. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, they are able to advise the president on legislation, on bills. And then appointments, say, IGP, so Chief of Defense Staff. It comes to the Council of State for advice. And then Council of State, so, I'm missing the word.
That's the
word I'm looking for. So, nobody Council of State also it from Mampenyi, Emma, Omone, or Mampenyi, Etanasi. And Sana, so Mampenyi, even the purview of Council of State, he calls them quietly. For me, it gives one an opportunity to also whisper to His Excellency the President, say, oh, Omampeni, Adiwe, Inka, Yenisea, Inkabebwa, Yenisea, Inkabebwa. Ninyano, Ghana never bow.
Ras,
Omampenia or Betinaso, irrespective of which party. When according to say a bar, Ghana for you and the airboa.
Ras,
or did you say a bonnet bar, Ghana for you and the affected?
I am perceived, especially, yeah, Wabonting. Any nipa bi say the moment akwa Council of State ho no na ekwan bi so no you are going in bed with government as a staunch member of the NDC, a former member of parliament na afi kwako do some for president say afi de Rasmus Barak say de akodi MPP for side o ono na
no I mean I'm not for it mature or my dream. I can't take that away from them. Obi to baby or judge you wrongly. It's entirely the person's cup of tea. But you and me, you know me well enough to know, say, I'm somebody who speaks my mind, whether it affects MPP or NDC. I mean, look at a classic example.
Okay.
My classic example. I also West Wagon by election. If you told me I'm Ghana for you, make I say, and come in Kwama Jimono. Say in a by election, party on your crowd, not your MP, no. And said there should be some agreement so that Omama on your crowd should go.
Yep. Oh, make I say
kind of point now 8 years. Would you say can you paper the way people got ahead?
No.
Okay, but even at the time I was making that suggestion, me and a party for a bit of my time say, oh, what am I doing? But at the end of the day, you're too far man for Antino. Because you see, when a party is in government, it's not by election bar. They go in with all guns blazing. It's difficult. And it's not good for the country. It's a by election kaka na ye buru bi na ye tutu and the rest of it. Na ye say sika to conduct a by-election, okay? But democracy does not necessarily mean that all the time we should have elections. Consensus building is part of the democratic process.
Right.
Okay, into me, my dream. At the end of the day, I'm a true patriot. I love this country more than anything. I love this country more than my life. Okay? In this medome minor me some Ghana some pa no obi say, obi a sebi na adwumu endo in respect of amanyosem and governance and what it takes to love one country. Let's say obi judge me wrongly. It's the person's cup of tea.
Unse obi to say E.T Mensah. Was served as Minister of State for a long time. Was served in 6 different parliaments. At that level, okase obe vie for a representation the ama Greater Accra no call Council of State because he's done he's seen it all. What you are saying, he will not be coming back. But Ras Mubarak, oh, a young guy, and Kumbungu, Empokra, went to me and could be a month for say no, there's still future. You can bounce back to be a member of parliament, the Ama Kumbungu. Now, open say, Oko Council of State, the people best who say, amount for the Jew to more. Open Saba back, about a pro Russian and Fiat, and I said, maybe I will con the next Oko anymore.
Oh, I mean, one day at a time. Currently, they see it so immediately to represent the people of the Northern region at the Council of State.
Okay.
And to be their voice at the Council of State.
As I
any idea is here.
May bridge in a band time to do. Sir, yes, when you get to the bridge, you cross it. It's just a bridge in a metro bridge in a bar.
I'm quite here. I'm quite here. And see, your umpire na go over and corner on the inside. It's one day at a time.
Ras, not the region, one your competitor be all.
Oh, yeah, the here is here. There's a retired educationist. There's a businessman. There's a Chief Alasan Dani, former MD, Stanbic Bank. There's a retired
Moana, Alasan Dani Sobano.
Yeah, Northern region, yes.
Hey, any squad woman. MPP for Bisu Moho.
MPP, I think MPP there 4 or 3 or more constituency chairman for Yendi.
Okay.
And then the retired colonel also MPP and a couple of others.
And now Osha grounds here now.
Delegates, no, only 32. Only 32 delegates.
32 delegates.
32 per the arrangements. No, they have to be assembly members nominated or elected from each district assembly. 2 from each district assembly.
Okay.
And fortunately for me, no, that one also and
okay.
I mean, average age 40 years.
Okay.
Assembly members are omokoto abano. So we are and they are enlightened. You know, that is the exciting thing about it. So we are confident that Yami E.T Empire, you know, we are working hard. I've gone around every district in the country. I'm on the second round of the district visitation. You know, ultimately drive about 4 hours, only to meet 1 or 2 people.
I never do.
You know, you drive 4 hours just to meet 2 people, but I mean, that is the beauty of wanting to serve. Because okay. I believe, sir, the Council of State offers you an opportunity to serve your people. And so more, so more, you know, you have to go and look for them. And traveling around the northern region has really opened my eyes to a lot of things I feel, sir, things I could encourage, things I could whisper to the president, things I could remind the president about in terms of more regions, so almost you know, and then also things that will come to the council for advice. The inputs obviously would be very rich. Earlier you were talking about the Honorable E.T Mensah. Indeed, you know, he's a statesman, but you need to take your attention to the Constitution of the Republic. Your Constitution, no end cafe. There's no
oh yes. I understand.
You know, and Bernie Sanders, Eka Nasembi said, building a nation, democracy. What's democracy in Chi?
Kebi.
Yeah, they agree and say, senior citizens and they should be involved. But you see, decisions that senior citizens and the elderly take affect young people as well.
Sure.
So young people must as well.
All right, Ras, your time now so but last question, I want a simple answer. Only president and I don't attempt to say.
Many of them tell me.
Only a coup.
I don't know what you mean by coup, but I mean, I don't know what you mean by coup. Obviously, let me make this point. Oko Council of State, I mean, you are above politics.
I understand.
Because you are seen as a statesman.
Sure.
And when you you know,
you'll be humbled. You'll be humbled. You'll be humbled. You'll be humbled.
You need to be sober. Not you need to be sober.
Sure.
And look at the bigger picture.
All right.
God willing.
Rasmubarak, yeah, we say all the best. Friday, Yami Adoma. You be from by the time we from na empire body say wedding kunim ni akasa. Why? All right. Rasmubarak Kane Kumbungum Rashibajani, our vice or Bayer representative, the sole representative for the Northern Region, our Council of State, and out here in the Dinkum. We didn't say ample for Jumano. Yabatuaso, Yami Adoma, Kofi Hassan, any production team, Yanko Ponshabu, Papa.